Hello guys, welcome to Tina Wilfred, and today I'll be giving you my trade breakdowns on Xauusd for the previous week. So this is a new week actually, and today is Tuesday. So I wasn't able to do this video over the weekend, and I felt it was still valid to do it anyway because I had it in my mind. So as you can see here, I just have few pairs here. I have BTC USD, GU, GJ, and Xauusd. I don't work with too many pairs for some reasons, very valid reasons actually. I'll be sharing these reasons later on another video, but for now let's dive into it. So I'll be starting with Xauusd, and that might just be the only pair I'll be able to cover in this particular video. I'll try to put up another video for GJ and BTC USD, because I think I also had a few trades on these pairs. So of course, let's go in. So for the most, generally, I always get my directional bias from the higher time frame, and when the week is just starting out, I always like to start my analysis with the weekly time frame. We cannot undermine the efficacy of the weekly time frame in our analysis. It does what you don't know about. So, but for the most part, daily, I always use my daily time frame to start my analysis. So on this very pair, I'll be showing you from the daily time frame how I was able to get my bias and how price was able to respect it, how price literally respected it. So I'm using my phone to record this particular video, so I don't know, I don't really have a pointer, but I will try to manage any of these tools. So price came back to this very order block here. You'll be able to see this order block clearly on the 4 hours time frame, and after it came here, it respected it and then moved. And while price was moving, it created another order block that most people do not recognize as order block, but I call it order block. Any other person would call this an engulfed candle, but this I recognize as an order block. And whenever this particular pattern forms on any time frame, from the daily time frame to the weekly time frame or monthly time frame, I take it very seriously because for the most part, price will always respect it. So this particular pattern is called an inverse pin bar, and then an engulfing candle. This is the engulfing candle, and this is the pin bar. As you can see, it is inverse. You can also call it an inverse hammer, right? You can call it a hammer, but an inverted hammer, right? So the moment I spotted it, I just knew that somehow price will come back to it, but when was just what I did not know about. I didn't know when it was going to come back. So I needed to wait for it. And while I was waiting for it, price moved a whole lot. You will not be able to know how much price moved, except when I zoom over to the 4 hour or 1 hour time frame, which I'm going to do. And at that point, I decided to take a trade because I felt price would take time to come back. I wasn't patient. This is also why patience is one of the vital ingredients in this journey. You need to be really patient and wait for price to come to you. I mean, if I had waited, I wouldn't have taken the loss that I took within the move, within just this very small move. It's not small, though. So, of course, price later came back to this very point. Of course, price came back and respected that level. I'll be zooming over to the 4 hour time frame so that you will see correctly what I am talking about. So, from the 4 hour time frame, this is the same part. So you see that I already marked it. Price came and immediately respected that point. Price came and respected that very point. Look at it. I'm sure you can see my blue cursor. I don't know if I should call it a cursor or a marker now. So price came, and the moment it got there, you see that it bounced up immediately. That was what it did. You can't see my position too here because, like I said, I took losses. I took a loss within the move before price came back. So when price came back for my main bias, I was not ready anymore. So I was not even able to take it. And that's why you can see the markings alone to show you that I really expected price to come back, but I was not patient enough to wait for it. So, of course, I wasn't able to take that particular trade, and price moved. Here you see price price respected the zone. And here it moved, and then it came back, mitigated this point. We always know price to always come back to entry. Either it comes back to the same precise entry or it comes back close to the entry. So here price created a mitigation block. A mitigation block I see as just a continuation pattern. So of course, when I saw it, I knew that price was going to come back to mitigate this very block, right? So I marked it and then I put my position too. And of course, as you can see, price came back and respected that level. When I posted this thing on my LinkedIn, somebody was asking me if I took all of this risk because of where my SL is. And of course, I didn't take all of this risk. As you can see, this is a mitigation block and the invalidation point should be at the end of the FVG, which I did not even get to. But because the FVG itself is too long, that's why my SO was long. I just saw it as an invalidation point. But on the account I was trading, I already have a defined risk. I was trading a prop firm. I already have a defined risk. So that was the risk that I also took on my MT5. I didn't take all of this, but I just marked it because I knew that if price ever gets to this very point, then this particular setup is invalidated completely. So of course, when price respected it, we needed to find more entries. In the past, when I was starting on my journey, right, I always used to allow price to move. Whenever price do not respect my level, just like whenever price respect my level and I'm not able to take the trade, I always let it go. Just like it respected this level, most times I do not look out for more trade because I'm expecting that, oh, my own A+ setup has already gone and all of that. So I don't always get to take more trades. But growing in this journey, right, I think I'm barely over 1 year. So growing in this journey, I've come to understand that, of course, price will always create more opportunities when it is moving. Price will always create more opportunities when it's moving. So these days, I always take advantage of it. So after price respected this mitigation block here, something happened again on the daily time frame. Remember, I told you that I always get my bias from the daily time frame. So look at what happened here. It created another candle, which is the inside bar and the mother candle. I'll just show you. It created another one here. You see, the same type of candle is created, but this one is an inside bar and this is a mother candle, which can also be seen as an engulfing bar as well. So this is the engulfed candle. I marked it, and of course price came back to that very level and respected it. But something happened. Most times when I mark any level from the daily time frame, I always look for a more precise entry on the 1 hour or 4 hour time frame. So when I marked this daily level, as you can see, I wrote it there. I zoomed over to the 4 hour time frame. I zoomed over to the 4 hour time frame. As you can see, I wanted to get a more precise entry. Let me show you again. I wanted to get a more precise entry, so I expected price to sweep the liquidity below and then tap into this very zone. Yes, I trade structure and liquidity mostly, so of course I expected price to come back and then mitigate this area, right, and then bounce up. But you see that price did not do that. What it did is that the moment it got to that daily level that I marked, it bounced up. This cost me a lot of regrets because I was just like, I should have just respected. I should have just followed the daily level that I marked. But, trading comes with a lot. You most likely be able to spot your mistake after you have already made that mistake or after price have already moved. So I wish I was able to take that particular setup, but you see that it's a missed entry. And the moment price bounced on that daily level, you can see that price kept moving. It kept moving. It gave us a new all-time high. From the daily time frame, price has been ranging for the longest time. You can see price has been ranging, and then it eventually broke out. After that daily level, it made price to go over the moon, and oh my god, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was not even easy watching price do that. So yeah, I decided to find more entries after price already broke through, gave us a new all-time high. I decided to find a new entry. I'll be going over to the 1 hour time frame for us to see this new setup clearly. I'll be going over to the so this is the 1 hour time frame. So the same type of strategy that I wanted to use here, but price did not respect. I saw it here. You will see this particular setup very clearly on the 15 minutes time frame, but you know that I always use the daily time frame a lot. No, price wants to do what I don't know what this thing is about to do right now. So, but if you zoom over to the 15 minutes time frame, you will see very clearly this particular setup. It was just a sweep, structure shift, and POI. So like I said, I trade structure and liquidity. So that was the same pattern the price respected here. The moment price came, there was a sweep, a structure shift, and then price came and mitigated the point of interest, and then it bounced up again. So as we already know, price goes from taking out the internal range liquidity to taking out the external range liquidity. So yeah, price came and respected it immediately. I wanted to show you very clearly how it did on the 15 minutes. I don't know why. Okay, yeah, so I wanted to show you how it's happened so you will see how the setup is. So yeah, this is it. You can see that price came. Let me get my pointer again. You can see the price came. This is our point of interest, which has an inducement and an FVG. So price came back after a structure shift. Price came back and mitigated the inducement. So it took out you can also see this as liquidity. That's an inducement liquidity. So like I said, price goes from taking out the internal range liquidity to taking out the external range liquidity. So, and the external range liquidity is usually the target, and of course you can see that price respected it. So that's a sweep, structure shift to the opposite side, and then POI, price came, mitigated the POI, and then bounced. That was a very, very smooth one. That was a smooth one for me. And ever since then, there has been more setup ahead. I was not looking at the 15 minutes time frame. You can see that there's a lot of setups even right after that. Let's see this 4 hour time frame. So you see that this is the setup that we just talked about. Here. And price came. You know that price created another FVG there. So the FVG is also on the daily time frame. Whenever your bias is coming from the higher time frame, you can never be wrong. So price still came back and mitigated that FVG, and then it kept moving. So I think I was busy with other pairs that I did not really pay attention to this very part. But as you can see, since then, price has just been moving, giving us more highs and more highs and more highs. Trust Xauusd to always go over the moon. It keeps going high. So for now, I'm waiting for a correction. I don't know when this correction will come as price keeps going. So there is no particular target. We are only paying attention to the psychological levels as targets now. Any trade that I'm able to catch within this move, the target will just be on a psychological level. It's there because there's no high that we are expecting. There's no resistance we are expecting price to get to. It has already taken out all the highs that we can ever think of. So it's either price gives us a correctional movement or it keeps moving high. But for now, we are watching price to see what price will do next. And until then, this will be the end of this video. Thank you so much for sticking through. If at all you watched to this very point, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I'll be bringing more updates on my trades. I'm also going to be talking a lot about how I've been able to cope through my journey, the mistakes I've made, how I was able to correct them, and also be sharing with you things that really motivated me in this journey so far. And until then, let's call it a day from here. Thank you so much. Bye.